Hi guys, Helen here. Today we are back from the video. We reactivated our account on PokerStars, so now I can play. Um, so yeah, let's dive into the action now. It's going to be the main sites where I'm going to put content, I think. H-Jack off here, I'm going to pot on this board. King, Queen, Deuce. You can play Polar. H-Jack is a good end to be in the pot region. And I think people on the raise, especially when they don't know me, so I'm fine with the line. 6-5 shoot here. I'm going to free bet low frequency. Yeah, I'm going to free bet this time. The Zoom 500 is not running, unfortunately, so we'll just play 200 for the moment. King, Queen suited. Going to open. So I played like few ends before. I think this guy actually reg. Yeah. Okay, with 6-5 suited, I'm going to call the 4 bets. And King Queen on this flop. I'll play this as a check. Depends on the board when there are monotone boards, but this one is particularly bad for me. Even against this side, I believe it's close. I'm gonna call because when the clubs run out, they can have a bluff. People will fall too much. And I think it has a significant impact to change the EV here. So I'm gonna play this way. Okay, now I might have a lot of bluff in my persuasion, so I should be careful. Still think that if I bet not that big here, people will not that call that if enough here. So I'm gonna bet small. I think you want bigger sizing also, like the flash vision can size higher. So yeah. I think here it's super easy for him to have like a pocket pair with a clubs and just fold. Or even have like a random bluff on Wall Street. So yeah, I'll try to produce content a bit more regularly. Night will be easier because right now I wanted to do things a bit too perfectly, like videos like way better. So I can still do like video like this, and if I want to do more cuts and editing, I can. But it's just better to put content here. And 9-4 off, I'm gonna fold. Ace Queen off against half pots. I believe it's going to be mostly a call. Don't mind raising. Okay. He bets a turn again. I have intuition raising is not that bad. I think against the pool, maybe calling is a bit better, but yeah, it shouldn't be that bad. So theory wise, he shouldn't bluff that much the diamond region because the main diamond should the ace of diamond should often like put in check. I don't think he can fully send in. I think it might be plus CV, especially against 200 players. I think he should play lower. You can consider folding, but I think here we just need to call. Especially when the guy can just have ace queen. So I will never fold this in. That's interesting. And also he jammed really fast. I'm not going to say like this is a bluff because I don't think we can know for sure, but I think against like tens, even queens will think a bit more about it. So maybe he has less value in if he bets queen on the turn. Okay, this guy limp. So put this as a recreational player. Going to bet half pots here. He doesn't know me, so I think the limp is way too weak. Because otherwise, if people have stronger hands, just open the end. 19 off here. I'm going to open. Okay. Fold 5-8 off. King 7 of diamonds going to be the bottom of my raise. Shouldn't raise that much here, but I'm gonna fold. That's right. It's a bit out of range. Like you should raise King 6 more, even more than King 7. That's a small detail. Queen Jack here. I'm going to call in this size, and now it's raise. I'm gonna fold. 2-3 suited. I'm going to fold. This is 2-5 off. I'm going to fold too. H6 off, going to fold. King 8 off, I'm going to fold 2, and king queen I'm going to open. Facing a free bet here, I'm going to call this in. I think playing a 4 bet or fold strategy is completely fine. Just you need to have some calls. I mean, some hands are like gains more by calling, and like ace queen suited is actually better call compared to raise. But I'm fine with this option. I'm gonna fold to 9 suit here. Going to open queens. Facing this sizing here, I'm going to call. Don't like the fact he did 7 exactly. Like he sized 7. It's not like a portion of the pots. It's make me a bit more scared. I don't even think we can fold. Because I think when I do this, you just want more calls. So I mean, I should have fallen on flop with this information. When I call on the turn here. Okay. Okay, I won. One against queen 10, something like this, I guess. 10 8 of diamond. So I'm not saying when the bet this size are stronger, but I think people would do this are actually betting super often on the turn. I can't really call my hand on the turn. So yeah. Anyway, ace6 suited. When it's a check on this flop, I don't think I should bet. Main sizing here is extremely polar, so I'm going to overbet an 8 or check. I don't really want to bet a king super often. Might have other size, but the main sizing which is going to be used here is overbet, and now on the river. I think actually, not sure this one. Going to 4-bet here with ace suited. I'm gonna check a6. I don't think bluffing against the pool here is that great. Because I often have this type of hands. I don't have that many bluff in my positions. I think ace queen is check fold. I mean, I block the fold, but I think it might be okay to bluff. I mean, I have also bluff combos, but not that bad to bluff an ace here. I'm gonna bet here. A bit something like 20. You can bet 1/4 here. On the turn, I think my hand is fine as a bet. I don't think they bluff enough against check here, so I'm gonna bet the turn again. Jack 10 against the leads. I'm just going to fold here. I have nothing. You call. River is actually pretty terrible. Well, I'm thinking of doing something so crazy. Like he fold ace queen. I don't think he called a pocket pair with spade and like nines. And I don't think he has the king of spades super often, like especially against a no. I think I'm gonna jam. What the fuck? I think jamming makes more money than checking. Like this is crazy. Like you should never do this usually, but if we think about it, he still have pocket nines can call. Tens if he's a bit tight. He will have ace 8 suited, ace 4 suited, ace queen, and he's falling. Like I don't see anybody calling this type of hand. Like super difficult in spots. I mean, I have all these king of spade. Can even have like kings play this way if he thinks I have this hand. So I do believe you should bluff this hand. I see so weird. Yeah, really weird spot. But if you see like all ranges interact here, I think betting makes one really. That's just funny spots. I don't play this type of pot super often where you should value bet the turn and bluff the river. Pretty rare. King queen juice off. I'm going to fold. What still events like king queen? But I don't think he has this type of hand super often. My English is not that great. I should It's because I stopped doing videos, but this is going to come back. It's fine. It's going to control what my mouse is saying. King queen off here. I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna call this time. Randomize with the hours, if you mind. What I'm doing. King queen off. Going to call this hand mainly. With mine raising. Okay, I'm going to call the turn again. And on the river, I think I'm gonna check here. I'm gonna explain why. So if he has and like 6 or 5, I don't think he's calling. I don't think they're calling off, and I think it's super easy for them to overbluff all the air region like Jack 10, King 10, 10, 9. No, I think I'm gonna raise. He doesn't have the ace of diamonds super often. The problem I have, I'm gonna raise. Ooh, so closing the timing. I was thinking of about min raising because he doesn't know me that much. I don't think people fall like the jack of diamond, 10 of diamond against min raise because it's kind of fishy line. I don't think there are that many ace of diamond here, so I'm fine with the raising. Size that was really close on the timing, so I should be careful. Queen 10 suited here. I'm going to fold against such a big ISO size. Pocket freeze, I'm gonna fold. This guy looks like a wreck. 7, I'm going to fold. Starts to note war eggs. This guy looks like wreck. This guy looks like reg also. I don't know for this guy. He's not at the max stack, so I'm fine. Okay, here I think ace 5. As deep here, probably a bit better to squeeze, I would say. I'm gonna squeeze really big. You might think you play deeper, so you want to call, but when I squeeze this sizing, nobody's for betting bluff the ace jack, ace queen here. Like really nobody. So if people don't play enough re-raise here, you actually see the flops more often, which a pure equity realization. And it makes you more money compared to a GTO solution where people have more bluff raise 200 dips here. Okay, I'm gonna check extremely fast on this flop. So I shouldn't do that much because it's a trick I do against the pool. Like I just analyze the spots super quickly and I check super fast just to let them think I'm rush checking, but I'm not rush checking, just doing it extremely fast. And now on the turn, I think my end's just a check. I can't really do that much things. Maybe we can start bluffing, but I don't even think it's great. Like better to check raise. Because people don't have an ace. I mean, I have aces, kings super often like play this way. So I do believe mine is actually better in the check. And now it's the same reasoning. I don't have any. I don't gain any EV by bluff raising here. So I think it's actually better to check. Or maybe I can bet 8 because when he raise, I don't have queens when I bet 8, so I have less bluff in my bet region. Anyway. And he had 10-9 of clubs. This is really, really loose call pre-flop. Especially with the reg. Anyway, this is fine. And he didn't bluff. I think it's fine. It's really his bottom, so maybe he can bluff. It's great to block the like slow plays, but even if it's Jack 10, I mean, I'm going to bet Jacks often on the turn or on the flop or on the river. I'm gonna fold pocket fours. I think it's a reg actually. Because regs don't really use this type of sizing. I should play with your HUD. I'll install it after. I think just making me money, so I should really play with a head. Okay, king, queen off here. I'm going to fold. Yeah, the stack size is a bit tricky to play. You know, I prefer the fold. 8-3 suited, I'm going to fold. Okay, 6 off here against size. It's actually the really close between call and fold. Kinda cool. That's okay against 2.5. Against freaks, you can start folding. Okay, he checked back. I think I'm going to check here on this turn. We have an ace, so we block the ends, are going to check back. So I'm fine checking this end. Just notice that most people here are going to check on the turn. So depending on the pool you play, so it might be better to bet if you play like 20, 50 NL. But I think in these pools, so we'll use the delay a bit too much. And on the turn, my end can raise. And against the human, I think it's actually way better to raise here. I'm not gonna raise that big. Just targeting the king jack, jack 10, king queen. All this type of things can use the delay. And if you start doing it, just count number of air he has in his range. I can just even I can even raise like jacking off. Like it will just make money. So I squeeze jacks here, get called by the guy that called button. I think I'm going to check. I don't want to be raised here. And I want to maybe it's my, I think it's number 10 whale flush. Well up. On the turn, I think it's actually better to bet now. I don't expect any bluffs by him. And now in case he has some two pairs, I don't think he will fold against my size. So I will size this. And the rec can still have call within like his queen with the diamonds, something like this. And I don't expect enough bluffs by him, so I'm fine betting. Jack 9 suited. I'm going to do the loose free bet here because the guy's a rec. It shows some open with a bigger sizing, so I expect most players who have a bigger open sizing to be weaker in the 2x size. And this flop is actually not good at all. Even 2 barrel is not a good board. I'm gonna check here. I like to see bet massively in position against Rex, but I think this board is probably one of the worst. The thing you can do is betting super small because it's tough for a reg to like raise queen jack naked. In general, I will just float. And they raise the stronger region, so like betting really small is also a good idea. Having delay in spots is fine. I'm gonna check with jack 10 here. Ace suited, I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna call this time. This sizing is not that strong, but I mean, I have jack 10, so I'm just going to fold. Ace deuce here. So I do believe most people will range bet here, and once they don't know me, I think that most people will just fold too much against a big raise. So I'm just going to raise and explode here. Even if you prefer like ace 5 here to raise. But even if you play zoom 200, it's really, really complicated to float enough on this type of board. Now I'm gonna use the check here. A7 freeway, I'm going to bet. And I think I'm going to bet half pot here, especially with this guy in the pot. No, I really think he has an ace. I really think I should bet. We can also decide to bet bigger, but I mean, we play 200 deep. I don't think like most people find random calls. Okay, I think here I'm going to overbet now. I'm going to bet 38. Ace 7. I'm going to bet. I don't want to bet that big here. I really wants to get called by an ace by this guy. If I know he's a really big fish, I can just overbet here, and this will be the best play. But it didn't seem to be like this, so I'm fine with that. A7 here. Now it's tough to choose the size. I don't think they fold an ace here against this sizing. They might fold if I bet, like if I do an overbet, and I'm quite sure they will call against this size, so I'm fine. Usually you just think I have ace queen and the call. They obviously never bluff raise, so if they raise, you should fold. Uh, I think yeah, I think the line is fine. Just maybe actually it's a bit better to size up on the flop. Because if I pot, the pot is really bigger and just I win way more. But the only problem I have with that is you can still take money against the reg if he called you with an ace and he's a bit too sticky. And he had ace deuce off. Okay, interesting. Okay, an 8 here. I'm going to bet small. You can use post flop timing to change the strategy you will use. And, and for example, if I pot here on this flop and I see that the guy is calling in 1 second, I will assume that he's calling an ace and he doesn't think it's a close call. So I think that Bayesianly, I call it like Bayesian ponderation analysis. I will assume that most players will actually who are calling super fast on the flop will also call on the turn bigger sizing because they think that the decision is not closed on the flop. Why do they think? Why is Wills a thing that the decision is closed on the turn? And pocket 8 here, we have one of the worst card to call here. So I'm going to fold. See bet small on the flop. You can play a different strategy also. And now I just bought the false one. The main is really terrible. And I don't think there are scenarios when you can really call here. I think this guy is a wreck. I don't remember, but I played like 10 minutes before. Pocket 10s here, you can mix between call and free bets. I'm gonna call this time. Okay, and on the turn, I think on a pot here, he's going to call. Okay, Queen Jack here. Yeah, I'm going to overbet here. I'm gonna bet half pot here with Queen Jack. Didn't have that many times to think about it. Probably betting smaller is better. I'm gonna overbet with tens. She's going to call. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna say which read I have, but 100% calling here. I can even guess his end. I think he has. I don't think he has a queen. I don't think he has ace. He has ace 10 either. Let me think. Yeah, maybe king queen. I think king queen suited. Ace 10. Ah, sevens. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, got a bit lucky, isn't? I'm going to free bet sevens. I think this guy is a reg and played already in Zoom 500. So yeah, the reason why I free bet a bit more is it's really difficult to be close to the EV you have in theory here. Like when you play 200 dips, when you play out of position, it's really difficult to realize EV because it's really difficult to play out of position as dips. So I will just apply more pressure in general. I can find more bluff 200 dips. And I will assume most people to overfold in spots in these limits. Going to free bet is 9. Goal on ace 4-3, you should play small sizing and check with like high frequency check. And this sizing is okay by him. And main, I think it's going to be full, especially against the pool. And I will call with a heart here. I'm gonna fold. And ace 9 here on king 6-6. You not necessarily have a range bet here. You can use different strategies. And having two blockers to the fold region probably makes me want to check this hand a bit more. So, I'm gonna fold here. If I raise, he's in tough spots with pocket pairs. You have nothing. It's better to fold. And even if the solvers tell you to range bet, it's great to have also strategy to find some you can just use like pure and also software where you can just not lock range. And sometimes you will see that lines that are close in theory um, might not be close against humans, and some lines are just better. Okay, king, queen, king eight. I'm gonna fold. So the reason why I overbet tens is because I don't think it's a check back flush that much, to be honest. And I don't think they are flush in terms of combos. Just don't have that much flushes. And when I overbet, what I'm saying is I have a flush, maybe a set on nothing. And when I polarize myself like this, I can let way more call against my range. Because if I bet half pot now, like in like pocket pair to 10, became stuff calls. And when I overbet, he can just decide the call is 10 and fold against weaker sizing. And in these scenarios where like people can call a bit more, I like to bet a bit bigger, but you should be extremely careful to do this if you don't have the nuts, because in some spots if they fall like always less, for example, you're all just going to get called by veterans. So you should really be careful here. Okay, 6 suited. I'm going to fold against size. Going to open ace-9 here. Okay, call. I'm going to check here. I don't know if it's a reg or check super fast. Let me check here. Probably win against like 7-8 or something like this. No, okay. Ace queen here. I think they overfold the river, by the way. Maybe I could have bluffed ace-9. We have a lot of even checks. Checking is fine. Ace queen here. I'm going to check with the sand against the wreck. We can bet small, so. And turn. I'm going to fold. For sevens. Ace 10 off. Going to be a mix. Going to free bet this time. Ace king as deep. Don't forget to have some 4-bet with his king. And the 4-bet sizing is really big. So I'm gonna 4-bet this sizing. It might be even not big enough. Like you should use bigger size. Okay, stand now. Going to play this as a check again. Trying the other strategies. I'm just going to triple now. Especially with this type of suits. Okay, is then now I'm just going to bet big with my hands. Okay, really difficult for them to call enough in this spot. Ace king here, I'm going to bet the turn again. Going to bet bigger size here. Okay. Yeah, now I don't have the suits to bluff this. Still going to think about it, because if he has kings or even queens, it's really difficult. Yeah, I'm just going to check here. He has 7-6 of clubs. Call really fast pre-flop. That's interesting. If I had this hand that when he's pre-betting a bit too much, and if he's calling this, that also means that he will fold too much river, but I can't really know it, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the video now. So hope you enjoyed it. Join the Discord if you didn't do it. Just we share errands. Sometimes we even do end review. Included. So yeah, just do that. And see you for the next one. Bye, guys.